Hello, welcome back to my channel and the countdown to Doctor Who. Today we will be making the Daleks. I've had this requested since I started my channel and my Facebook page, and have had this little guy's brothers, I guess you could call them, as my picture for this entire time. And now today we're finally going to make him. So you if you recall, during the 11th Doctor's tenure, Daleks now come in fashion colors, so you can make your Dalek any color you want. I've actually made them in hot pink and gave him a boa and everything else. She was very fashionable. So, the basic Dalek has, of course, his yarn body, as you would expect. A main color, the black for the, what I'm calling the neck, just for simplicity, but it's that part that is kind of accordion looking. Then more of the main color, and then the whatever color you want for the Dalekanium balls, or whatever you want to call them. Dalekanium is what they are, but I don't know what they're called. With balls, I guess, is a good name for them. Anyway, then of course you've got the sucker arm, the blaster arm, or gun arm, depending on what you want to call it, the eye stalk, and the two lights on the top of the head. Those are made with a pipe cleaner. You only need one for this little guy. And then of course you're going to need some stuffing. So today I'm going to be using this Caron Simply Soft. I'm going with purple because it shows up pretty well. The stitches you can see pretty well. And then of course black. This is the Caron Simply Party. It's got glitters, a glitter line, I don't know, metallic-y thread running throughout it. I thought that would look really cute with the purple that I've chosen. I've chosen this gray, also the Simply Party. It's also got that metallic thread going through it. That's for the wrapping of the eye stalk and the arms. And then I've got some white, and it's really, you don't need hardly any at all. It's just for this part right there, unless you want to make, you know, you can make this in any color you want. I'm just going with the you know, purple instead of blue here, but pretty much the same colors. You're going to need a hook that is the right size for your project, so for your yarn. My yarn calls for a size G, or 4.25 millimeter hook, so that's what I'm going to use. I have a pair of scissors, and as I mentioned before, I have a pipe cleaner, chenille stem, I'm not sure what you call it. I call it pipe cleaners. I have a yarn needle here. Also off to the side, I have a pair of pliers. There are some difficult stitches, but only barely. They're just a little more difficult than the normal single crochet that you're used to seeing from all my amigurumi projects. There will be back loop only here, which if you've done my TARDIS and my Cyberman from the days before, you already know that. In here we have some front post single crochet, and when we get to that I'll show you how that's done and how to count it properly. And then the hardest one, or most complicated one, is called the bobble, and the only reason it's complicated is because it becomes a double crochet at partials, and I'll show you what I mean when we get to that part. And then on the bottom we also have half double crochet and double crochets. So and there's only 6 of each of those. Nothing super complicated in this little guy at all. Gather up your materials and we'll get started. Alright, I did forget to mention that you're going to need a tiny bit of blue yarn, and this is way too much. And that is, or you can also use the white, but that's for the eye, the inner eye right there, that the lens part of the eye. and you'll need a way to stuff it. I've got some polyfill off to the side here. It's a big bag, so I can't really show you. We're going to go ahead and begin. And like most of my projects, this is going to be a combination of both amigurumi and not amigurumi. And I do want to say that the link to my pattern, as always, will be in the description box down below. You can get it for free. I only ask that you give me credit where credit is due, and just remember that Daleks and Doctor Who and anything else that's related to that is all property of the BBC, and their rights should be respected. So, let's go ahead and begin. Alright, as before, we are going to start with a magic circle. You can always do a chain of 4 and then slip stitch to join the chain into a circle. I prefer this way, but you do however you are most comfortable. So to make that magic circle, you're going to pinch the tail with your thumb and your first finger. Wrap the working yarn up over your 2 fingers, under your 2 fingers, and up and over again, and taking that yarn and crossing over. Then I like to hold it with my pinky and my ring finger so it stays taut. Then I'll take my hook, go under the first loop that we made, so the bottom loop, and then hook the top loop and pull it out. Then give it a twist where you're twisting your hand away from you, this way. I'll show you that again, this way. And then yarn over and pull up a loop and cinch everything down. And then, because that circle is kind of big, I like to just go ahead and shorten it just a little bit. By the way, I apologize for the state of my hands. If you saw my resin fail video from last week, you'll know why my hands look the way they do. I kind of had resin pigment issues. So, the first round, and we have a total of 21 rounds for this. We start on this head and work our way down to the bottom here. So round number 1 is going to be a it's going to be a 6 single crochet. It's going to be 6 single crochets into the magic circle. So insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Now you have 2. Yarn over and pull through both of those. Okay, and as I've mentioned before, when you're doing a magic circle, leave the first initial loop. Get you in a little closer. Leave that initial loop as fairly big, because when you go to join it, when you go to join the next, or start the next round, this kind of gets lost a little bit, and it's kind of difficult to get your hook into there. So once again, a single crochet, insert your hook into the middle of the magic circle, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. So that's a single crochet. Do it again, yarn over, or insert your hook, then yarn over, and then yarn over and pull through 2. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. That's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then I'm going to cinch that down, but not all the way. When you cinch it down all the way, this first stitch right here tends to get lost. Okay. And we don't want it to get lost. So you can use your hook like I do and just kind of tease it out using the actual hook part there, and then this is really the only truly difficult part of any of my projects, is that getting to the next row. So that was round number 1. Round number 2 is going to continue in a spiral, so no slip stitch to join. We're not doing that yet. We will be, but not right now. you're going to put 2 single crochets into every stitch from the previous round. So yarn over and pull up a loop. Do not slip stitch at this point. You're going to continue. Oh, looks like I split my yarn there too. Don't do that. There we go. Yarn over and pull up the loop. Yarn over and pull through 2. And then put another one in the exact same spot. Just like that. If you're wondering, if you haven't watched any of my other videos or any other crochet videos, shame on you, but just teasing. You might want to go watch the basics. It'll be linked up in the eye or down below. The top of any stitch has a chain, what looks like a chain, and it's 2 strings of yarn that come together. Oops, sorry. 2 strings of yarn that come together in a V. And for a simple single crochet or any simple stitch, you're going to go under both of those. Okay, so there's the one. Oops. I'm hooking both of them. And 2. So you're going to insert your hook under both of them for a simple single crochet. We're going to get a little complicated here in just a little bit, but not just yet. So I've got 2, and then I need to put 2 in this next stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. That's 3, and do it again. That's number 4. You're going to repeat this for 12 stitches. So 5 and 6 in the next one. 7 and 8 in the next. 9 and 10. Then 11 and 12. And now we're back at the beginning where we ended round 1 and stepped up to round 2. Okay, and you can cinch this down whenever you feel like it. You can put your needle on there and work it into the fabric. Whatever you feel comfortable with is good. And now I have a piece of white yarn that I'm going to be using as a yarn marker. So I'm going to put it in between the last stitch of the previous round and the first stitch of the next round. And we'll start round number 3. Alright, round number 3 is also an increasing round. We're going to follow a pattern of 1, then 2. So in the first stitch, you're going to put 1 single crochet. Okay, in the next one, still going under both legs of that V, you're going to put 2 single crochets into this stitch. So 1 and 2. So now we have 3 stitches where the round before we only had 2. So repeat that 5 more times for a total of 18 stitches. 4, 5, and 6. And I will meet up with you when I get to the end. Alright, I'm on my last stitch, so number 18 from round number 3. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. So that's 18. Or row 18. That's the 18th stitch of round number 3. Round number 4 is also increasing. I'm just moving my stitch marker up. In the first stitch you're going to do a single crochet. In the next stitch you're going to do a single crochet. And in the third one you're going to put 2 single crochets. So 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 in the third. That's 1 and 2. just like that. Now you're going to repeat that pattern of 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2 all the way around 5 more times for a total of 24 stitches, and that'll be the end of round 4. I will meet back up with you when I get to the end of my round. Alright, I'm on the last stitch. That would be stitch number 24 of the previous round. Yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And now, this is how big our circle is. I'm going to move my stitch marker up and begin round number 5. Rounds 5 and 6 are not increasing rounds. They are just straight 1-to-1 ratio rounds. So you're going to just put a single crochet in each stitch all the way around for a total of 24 stitches. Yarn over and pull up a loop, or sorry, insert your hook and then yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just keep going until you get to the end of this round, and then do it again for round number 6. You'll notice as you get farther along that it's going to start to cup. We want it to cup. That's we're trying to build this dome shape into our project. So if it's starting to cup, that's exactly what you want. Okay? And I will meet up with you when I get to the end of round number 6. Alright, I'm at the end of round number 6, and like I said, it's starting to cup. I'm going to force the cup to go the right way. Okay, so now the inside is on the inside where it belongs, and I'm going to do my last stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And now, at this point, everything else will be slip stitch to join, so you actually don't need your stitch marker anymore. You can leave it in and keep using it. I don't need it, so I'm not going to, but you go ahead, whatever makes you comfortable, okay? So now we need to fasten off our blue and pick up our purple and pick up our neck color, in my case it's black. I'm hoping you'll be able to see what I'm doing. If not, I'll find a dark gray or something to use in its place. So we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. So yarn over and pull up a loop, and then pull the second loop through the first one. Then yarn over and pull as if you're chaining, but in this case we're actually fastening off. So get your scissors and cut your thread, and then just pull that loop all the way through. And now we're going, if you watched my other crochet videos, we're going to do the mostly lumpless finish. So put your yarn on a needle, and I didn't kind of pull that down, tighten it up, because I want to make this look as seamless as possible. So my yarn is coming out of here and going up through that loop. So now I want to create a fake loop by going to the next stitch and going under the V part, but normally you would insert your hook this way. For the lumpless finish, you're going to go the wrong way. Okay, so just make sure your yarn isn't getting caught in the wrong place there. So pull your yarn through, just like that. That's going to force the final loop to lay down. Then take your needle back through that same loop. Okay, it's laying down, so you want to go from the top down. So top, and then where this V that you went under before meets at the center, you're going to put your needle through that spot. Okay, that's the spot you want to aim for, and it's just sort of not completely tighten that down, but just until it looks like, as much as possible, looks like a completely new stitch. Okay, but keep in mind where that is, because we don't want to use that in our project. We don't want to accidentally put a stitch from the next round into that spot. So now I'm just kind of working my yarn needle through a little bit. It doesn't have to be great. You know, you don't have to really work it because all of this is going to be on the inside and nobody will ever see it, but it's always a good practice to go ahead and work your, what am I trying to say? Work your tail threads in. Okay. So I'm just cutting mine off. You don't have to. You can keep them long if you want to. That's up to you. I'm doing it so that they don't stick out and cause confusion. Alright. So now we're going to pick up our next color. In this case, this is the neck color. And I'm using black, like I said. So we'll be on round number 7. You can just put the main color off to the side. We'll be using it in a minute. And we're going to begin with round number 7 next. Round number 7 is going to be back loops only. If you watched my TARDIS video, you'll be very familiar with using the back loops only. If you watch the Cyberman, you'll remember that we use back loops only as well. And the back loop just means the back, oops, I'm sorry, it's probably hard to see with him in the way. It's just the back of the 2 loops that form the V. We're going to be working in right there instead of under both of them. And remember, here's our fake stitch, so don't count it. I like to go to the stitch before I fasten off, so this one right here. Okay. And here is a place where it's very easy to add in extra stitches that don't belong. I'm at the last stitch. My hook is going in the last, or the back loop of the last stitch. So I know that that stitch is number 24 from the round below, before. I'm actually going to count backwards to find out where stitch number 1 is. So 1, but I'm not going to count backwards 24 down to 1. You don't need to. You can just count it as 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. It's kind of hiding right there. So you're going to skip the slip stitch and the fake stitch completely. You just want to make sure that you skip those 2 when you come to them and go into the first stitch of the previous round. So when I join, I'm already in the back loop of the stitch I want to join at. I don't use slip stitches or anything like that to join, or slip knots or anything like that. I just insert my hook and pull up a loop and then chain 1. Okay. Now, a back loop only single crochet is exactly the same as the single crochets we've been doing. So go in the back loop only, yarn over and pull up a loop, and you'll notice that I'm actually going under, oh, I split my yarn. I'm actually going over top of my tail. So there's my chain 1. Yarn over and pull up a loop. And now I'm actually going to work over my tail thread just a little bit so that this won't pull out. So there's the single crochet. There's the slip stitch from this previous round and the fake stitch. Skip those 2 and go to the first real stitch of the previous round below. Go in the back loop only. And don't split the yarn like I keep trying to do. I'm going to work over this thread for, or my tail yarn for 1 more stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2. Go in the next one, back loop only, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And then I'm going to keep doing that for a total of 24 stitches in round number 7. Okay. And I will meet you back when I get to the end of this round so I can show you how we're going to slip stitch and step up to the next round. I'll be right back. Alright, I've done 23 and I'm on my last one. And yes, I always go back and double check that I have the right number of stitches at this point and at strategic points along the way, because it is very, very easy to get off, and you kind of need to be spot on for this whole project, otherwise it gets wonky very quickly. Okay, so I just put in my last stitch of this round number 7. So now I need to slip stitch to join. Here's where I joined the black yarn in the first place. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can get this to focus just a little better. Okay, I want to go to the top of the first actual single crochet I did, not the chain 1, but the actual single crochet, and I want to find the two loops of that V, and I want to go into the back loop only. Okay, so there's the back loop only. I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop, then pull that second loop through the first loop, and now I have slip stitch to join. Now I'm going to chain 1 so I can step up, insert my hook into the same spot, that back loop only, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2 for the single crochet. Now I'm going to go back loops only all the way around until I get to the end of this round, which is round number 8. Okay, I will slip stitch to join just like I just showed you, chain 1 and step up again, do round number 9, and then slip stitch to join again. Okay, and I will meet back up with you when I finish rounds 8 and 9. Alright, this is the last stitch. Oops, just split that. Last stitch of, boy, I'm really not doing good on that. Last stitch of round number 9. And now I'm going to just go ahead and slip stitch to join. We're done doing back loops only. Okay, so you can just go under both loops, yarn over and pull up that loop. Maybe. Make sure you're going at the top of the single crochet, not the chain 1. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull up another loop as if you're chaining. Cut the thread, or the yarn, sorry, and pull it through. And now, once again, you do your mostly lumpless finish that we did before. We're doing it again here. And we'll be able to start the shoulders. I'm calling these shoulders because that's where the arms go. Okay, and this is where we're going to get a little more complicated by doing front post single crochet. In the pattern, it's going to be an FP SC. Okay, say that 5 times fast. FPSC is what it's abbreviated as. Okay, so go ahead and do your lumpless finish, and I'll be back to begin round number 10. Alright, we're ready to begin round number 10, the shoulders. And you need to be working with your main color, and just like we did before, you can add your next color in however you want. Okay, this is the way I do it. There is absolutely no reason that you have to do it the same way. Alright, that's going to be completely up to you. I am, once again, working over the top, okay, of that tail thread, tail yarn, because I want to make sure it doesn't pull out. There's our, I worked my first stitch into the stitch number 24 of the previous round. I'm skipping the slip stitch and our fake stitch and going into the first stitch of round number, round number 9. Had a slight moment there where I couldn't think of what it's called. And this round is just an establishing round, if you want to call it that. Basically, we're just doing single crochets in each stitch around, because we have to have some place to build our front post single crochets, and this is how we do it. So single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 24 stitches. There's 3 for me, and I will meet back up with you when I get to the end of my round. Alright, I've just put my last stitch into round number 10. I'm going to slip stitch to join under both loops, just like before. Yarn over and pull up a loop, and then pull the second loop through the first loop, and then chain 1. And now we're going to do a single crochet and then a front post single crochet. Okay, so the first one, of course, is going to go right where you slip stitch, right there. Yarn over and pull up that loop, and yarn over and pull through 2. That's your normal single crochet. Okay, normally you would go here next, okay, like you have been doing right there. Okay, I'm sorry, that's a little out of focus there. Okay, in this case you are going to stick your hook through there, but you're not going to yarn over at this point. You need to swing around and go underneath. So see how I'm swinging under? This is the post, and that's what I need to work my stitch around. So I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Now, instead of my yarn coming from behind, it's coming from the front. Okay, I still have my 2 loops, so I can still single crochet or finish it off just as if I normally would. So yarn over and pull through 2, and now you have a single crochet here and a front post single crochet there. Now you would be tempted to put your next single crochet right here, but if you did, your counting is going to be off. The way I like to think of it is, on the single crochets, take a step back. In my head, I'm thinking step back, which would put us here rather than here. Okay, so here, in a single crochet, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And then jump forward. So now, instead of wrapping this post, we're actually wrapping the next post. Like that. So I inserted my, I insert my hook into the next spot, but instead of yarning over like that, we're actually going to go through the next spot, yarn over and pull up a loop. Oops. Don't split your yarn. Boy, I am really bad about that. Sorry, guys. Okay. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. And now I have a single crochet, a front post single crochet, another single crochet, and another front post single crochet. Now I have 4. So now I'm going to step back and put a single crochet in, then hop forward. Okay, and put a front post single crochet in, So now I have 6 stitches total with a split yarn in between. There we go, 6. Step back, hop forward. Step back, hop forward. Now, every time I do a hop forward, quote, quote, that is a front post single crochet. Every time I step back, that's a single crochet. Okay, so step back, hop forward. Step back, hop forward. Step back, hop forward. And yes, I do actually say these out loud as I'm doing them. Step back. Otherwise, I'll get it wrong too. Hop forward. And you need a total of 24 stitches in this round. You don't want to be accidentally adding stitches in, okay? Which at this point it is extremely easy to do. And my first prototypes of these Daleks that I made, I had at the end, I had upwards when I got to the popcorn, or not popcorn, the bobble stitches here for the Dalekanium. I would have 30 stitches or more, and we don't want we really don't want that. Okay, you need to have what the pattern calls for. Okay, so I just hop forward, right? Yes. So step back for a single crochet, hop forward for a front post single crochet. Don't be afraid to, drop the yarn and fix what you've got going on there if you screw it up. Step back, hop forward. Crochet is very forgiving. And now we're on the last stitch, which is a hop forward or front post single crochet. And this one is usually kind of tight and a little tricky to get in there, but do it anyway. And now, before I slip stitch to join, I want to double check and make sure I have 12 of each. And the easiest way is just to count all the front post single crochets. So 2, there's 1, 2. Okay, so 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and oh, shocking, 12. So I know that by counting just the front post single crochets, that there's actually 12 of each, which is 24, which is where we need to be. Okay, now it's a little tricky because we did front post single crochets. It's the step up, it's not super defined. It's difficult to see. Here is where we slip stitch to join from round number 10. This is round number 11's first stitch right there. Okay, it's really hard to see, but you need to find it. Okay, so you're gonna slip stitch to join. So insert your hook under both loops, yarn over and pull up a loop, pull the second loop through the first loop. Okay, and now chain 1. And now we're going to single crochet in each single crochet, and then we're going to front post single crochet in the every front post single crochet from the row below, or round below, sorry. So we're going to single crochet first in that same stitch we just slip stitch to join. So yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, and this is where if you had left your stitch marker in, this was where it would become a lot more usable. It'd be helpful at this point. Okay, so I just single crocheted, so now I need to front post single crochet. Here's the post from the front post single crochet from the round below. I'm going to insert my hook here, and around that post yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through 2, just the same as we've been doing. And now these front post single crochets are going to become a lot more visible. So that was a hop forward. We're going to step back and put a single crochet in. We want to make sure that we're putting it here and not there, okay? Because the front post single crochet becomes a lot more difficult if you have a single crochet in its way. Okay, so hop forward and put a front post single crochet in. Step back, single crochet, hop forward, front post single crochet. Okay, and do that all the way around. Now, hopefully you can see the 3 front post single crochets we did has now become quite more pronounced. Okay, and these single crochets are kind of being pushed in, which is exactly what we want. So go ahead and finish that, and I'll meet you up when we get to the end of this round. Alright, I just finished round number 12. I slip stitched to join, and now I'm on round number 13. 13 is a little special. It's just single crochets, but the reason it's special is because this is where, if you've screwed up your counts, this is where you can fix it. Alright, by the end of round number 13, you should have a total of 27. I have 24, which is what we're supposed to have, and I've double checked that. I went back and counted just to make sure. I have 24 stitches total. And now I want to increase to 27, which means I need to add in 3 extra stitches somewhere. I want to make sure that they are as evenly spaced as possible, but I also want to put those evenly spaced increases in strategic locations. And what I mean is I kind of want to build slightly and it's not really going to be noticeable at all, so you don't have to be as particular as I am. But I want to put a single crochet, an extra single crochet, where directly above where the point of the bottom piece, when we get to it, will sit. So here's round number 13 sitting right here. I want to put my extra stitch, one of them, right there. And then I need to count back 8 from that particular spot, 8, and put an extra one here, and 8 this way, and put one there. Okay, so I have a total of 3 increased spots. But if you perhaps have too many, which is possible, and you have, if you have, like, say 28 or 29 stitches, then you'll just need to do a couple of decreases, which is the single crochet 2 together, SC, the number 2, and then TOG, to get down to 27. Or you may have only 23 stitches, and in which case you need to add 4. This is the round to do it. All right. So because I'm right at 24, which I'm supposed to be at, I can actually just follow my own pattern and put my increases where I want them, which I figured out before on my prototypes where I want those increases to be. So I'm going to chain up 1 to step up, and then I'm going to single crochet in the first 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I want to put in my increase in this first strategic location, which would if you were looking at this Dalek, and the way we're building him from the top of the head to the bottom, but we work upside down, my first increase is actually going to be here where it would correspond to one of the corners of the bottom piece, so right here. And you can see it right there. Okay, so in stitch number 5, I'm actually going to put 2 stitches, so that where I had 5 stitches, now I have 6. So 1 and 2. And now I can go 8, because 24 divided by 3, I have to add in 3 strategically. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So now I'm going to single crochet in 8, or in 7, and then in the 8th stitch I'm going to add another stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now I'm going to put in 2 single crochets into stitch number 8. Okay. I'm going to do that again. So single crochet in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oops, I'm in the wrong spot. 5, 6, 7, and then I'm going to do 2 in that 8th stitch, and now I'm just going to finish it out. 1, 2, 3, and now I'm at the beginning again, so I'm going to just go ahead and double check my counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. And now I'm going to slip stitch at the top of the stitch, the first single crochet, and get ready to do my bobble stitch. So slip stitch to join and chain 1 to step up. And now you're going to be working with 2 yarns, your main color and then your Dalekanium color. So whatever color you decided for the Dalekanium balls, go ahead and grab that. You're going to need it in just a moment. And I'm just spooling out a little bit there. And I will be back to begin round number 14, where we add in Dalekanium in just a moment.